What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Grind Force Gaming. Nova here, and we've got DatSkat with us today, of course. What's going on, DatSkat?
Hey, how you doing, Nova? Great to be here.
Good. We are going to be talking about the two new fighters that just came out, and I gotta say, I am like wildly impressed. DatSkat, what do you think?
Boy, they are so good. They're so much fun. Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, I
Oh,
know. I don't even have either of them yet, and I'm already excited.
oh,
So that's
I'm
saying
waiting
something.
for the discount on Flame Chung Li, just to
Yeah.
keep the pocketbooks a little tighter. And I actually got Vega in those divination pulls that they
Oh,
give you for the trials.
nice. I have not done that yet, but I did the trials, but I haven't used my divination pulls yet. But I know you can think about this two ways, right? You can get Vega for free. You know, with time, you're not going to get Flame Chun Li for free, but you can get her for like $29.99. I know it's pay to win. That's kind of annoying, but like, don't go to the bar on Friday, right? Take one night off, and
Yeah,
there's your Flame Chun Li.
there it is.
And I think, unfortunately, this has totally overshadowed Akuma. I mean, I don't think that he was really that great from the get go because like DatSkat said in a previous video, you can just use Viper and get the same mechanic, and she's obtainable. So I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, exactly. If a unit is not obtainable, the unit is worthless.
Yeah,
And if it's only available to the whales and the whales are
that's such a
fighting each
blunt
other,
statement. I love it.
yeah, well, I don't think it could be more true. Like,
Yeah,
he's a terrible hero because no one can get him.
yeah, it's true.
Period.
I
Period.
have him at like
However,
S. It's not impressive.
no, at this stage in the game, we are on the precipice of hitting the late game, or what other people have considered the late game, and,
Yeah,
and I tell you what, an S tier unit just isn't going to do it.
yeah, totally agree.
Yeah,
So I think so. Daskat and I were talking about this earlier. I really want to have him cover Flame Chun Li because I think that he has like an incredible understanding of it and also some amazing team composition ideas. So let's start with that. And again, we don't have her yet. We haven't used her. This is just speculation, but I think this is how things are going to work. So Daskat, go for it.
yeah.
I'm looking at my phone, by the way. That's why I keep looking down. Go ahead, Daskat.
Okay, okay. I honestly need to start by backing up what you just said. Like, I don't have her, but this is what I've been reading. Um, so essentially, her super is an AOE, which is really cool, and it will do a bunch of kicks straight through the enemy team and back to your side of the map. And each kick is doing this mechanic called flame penetration.
Yeah.
And flame penetration basically is just it's a force multiplier for this burn damage, which is just incredible. But however, you have to look at her passive to truly understand why you need to run her super. Um, and her passive is basically it's a number of different things happening, but the main thing is that the first time you hit an enemy, they automatically get stacks of this flame penetration.
Yeah.
And flame penetration damage is unlocked essentially via getting burn damage. So having your team composition reflect that is going to be really powerful.
Or
Her
armor
first
break as well.
or armor break, yeah, which
Yeah.
is okay. So with Flame Chun-Li, you can run two different squads, which makes Flame Chun-Li awesome because she's
Yeah.
so versatile. We don't have any other hero in this entire game that is as versatile as Flame Chun-Li. Um, Incredible.
Yeah.
Uh, so you can do an armor break team, but we're gonna get into team compositions in a little bit. Let me
Sure.
continue with Lim Chung Lee's
Yeah. I
details here.
distracted you. My apologies.
It's okay. We're getting back to it. So you can ignore her first skill. Basically, it's just doing some flame damage. There's some burn things happening there, but you're not gonna want to use that. You're gonna want to use her second skill, um, which essentially has more chance of inflicting this flame penetration, which again, she is a force multiplier. Her role in this whole bit is to increase damage for
Correct.
everybody else. Specifically, I would say just from reading these. Obviously, I haven't tried it, but Dulcim is going to shine in these lineups
Dulcim shines
because
already. He's an incredible fighter in this game.
Dulcim just got his best friend, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So that's essentially what she is. She's a force multiplier. Her AOE, her first skill, her super AOE is really awesome, and she's going to stack a whole bunch of this flame penetration, and armor breaking force multipliers for you. And I cannot wait to use her.
I can't wait to get her as well. It's going to be pretty awesome. So what do you think then, if you were to put a full flame team together, what would you do?
Oh, for sure. Okay, so you have to run Dulcim's third skill. So he has to be out there. You can
Okay.
run him from the tag if he's a little weak for you, because he is a little squishy,
Yeah,
but
that's
you
true.
definitely need to run his third skill. And for Flame Chun-Li, you need to run her super and her second skill.
Okay. So who do you put in the first slot? What do you think?
I think you put Fei Long in there. And
Okay.
Fei Long, he doesn't inflict burn damage. Um, However, what he does is inflicts flame vulnerability, which is going to set up your force multiplier even more. So I think you put Flame or Fei Long in that first skill slot. So you run the combo of Flame Chun-Li, Fei Long, Flame Chun-Li again, Dulcim. And
Okay.
Dulcim, I tell you what, once these stacks start hitting, Dulcim is going to do so much damage. It's going to be incredible. I can't wait. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness, I
that's
can't
going to
wait.
be awesome. And that still keeps Bison out in front,
Of
which
course,
is
yeah.
really nice.
Yeah.
That makes for a really great team composition. What do you think about for doing the armor break then? Because that's going to be win
Okay.
faction.
Yes. So for the armor break, Cammy is going to shine here. So you do the same thing where your damage dealers on your third skill, which will be Cammy, and then
Okay.
you probably are going to run something like Flame Chun-Li, Guile, regular Guile to start
Sure.
stacking some more of that armor break.
Yep.
Flame Chun-Li again as a force multiplier, and then hit him with Cammy, because Cammy's going to essentially become stronger and stronger and stronger with all the armor break that's happening.
Yep.
So if you can just, it's the same mechanic as the flame team, where it's the force multiplier, and then boom, you're nailing them um, on that third skill.
I
So you
think,
got to keep them alive, and you have to have M Bison out front. So you have to keep everybody alive, and
right.
there is no Elena for heal here,
Right.
but I think you're gonna start nuking.
This is like maximum damage concept, right?
Uh,
And I
uh-huh.
think what's really cool here is if you are doing this, if you are alternating the factions, you can kind of play off the faction bonuses in this way, because if you're doing the flame team, that's a lot of AoE. And if you're doing the armor break with the wind, that's more single target damage. So you have the ability to play with this team composition by having her be a part of it, that not only is going to be beneficial based on how many enemies you're fighting, but also based on what faction type that enemy is. I think it's amazing. I mean, we could talk about
Correct.
her fighting spirit too, but I'll just pull it up here for you guys to look at. Of course, it's good. I mean, I don't really know that there's any fighting spirits that like aren't good, but we don't really need to get into it. It's just a little bit too much detail. You can read that on your own later. But let's jump into just talking quickly about Vega here.
Ooh, okay, Nova. Let us know what's going on here.
Vega
Well,
is
I'm
interesting,
eager.
and I kind of find it a little bit comical, because I didn't feel like Fei Long really had a place, up until like now. Like, yeah, you could put him in for things, but I think like this situation with Flame Chun-Li makes him like super good. But with Vega, I think we finally found a place for Dudley. Like,
How many videos have we just dunked on Dudley?
oh my
Like
gosh, I made
he's
fun of
been
him in my videos
trash
this
barrel.
morning. It's like, I don't know. I feel kind of bad now, but he's got a spot now. Adon even has a spot now in this case. And
I
I'll get
like
into
it.
that in a second, but let's just cover his super here really quickly. He's doing like really good damage. He's inflicting bleed, and bleed is doing a certain amount of HP loss. It's functioning the same way as burn in a way, but it's a little bit different. And what's really cool about Vega is that if you're using his super, he's inflicting bleed. And then you definitely want to be using his third skill, which is inflicting sublime bleed, which is a different kind of bleed, which stacks differently and in addition to the other bleed. So the other bleed can stack to 3%. This one can stack to 6%. That's 9% bleed.
Oof.
It's
Oof.
it's wild. He's got a great passive as well. He's increasing crit rate depending on how many stacks of bleed. And if you're pairing him, so he's got super, he's got third slot. If you're pairing him, then let me scroll down here and find Dudley. I've never thought I'd say that out loud. Here he is dealing grave injury and stun on skill 1. Okay, so we've got skill 1 filled. That's increasing the amount of bleed damage that's being taken. And now if we,
excellent.
Oh, I know. If we go over here and go to Adon, here's your slot 2 skill, also inflicting it. So you're dealing tons of bleed damage, stacking bleed susceptibility with grave injury, and you're increasing crit by how many stacks of bleed. It's like, I don't know. I think it's incredible.
What is Vega's third skill again? Like, how is this going to set up the humongous nuke here?
So the third skill is the one that's doing the sublime bleeds. That's what's giving you the additional stacking. Like, it's
come on, it's unfair. That's so good.
I think it's awesome. Well, I'll pull his fighting spirit up here too, and it's a little bit easier to talk about Vega. Like, this is maybe it seems like I'm going through him kind of quick, but he doesn't have like as much like maneuverability within lineups. I don't think as Flame Chun-Li. Like, she's kind of a complicated fighter to talk about because she can do so much.
Well, she's the force multiplier, and she has 2 teams she slots into. I got to say this one thing.
Yeah.
About Dudley. So I know, right? I
know,
never thought
right?
I'd be talking about Dudley, but here we are.
I never thought I would purposefully scroll to him and open up his gallery page.
So Dudley's first skill, if I'm correct, he grabs the fighter and throws him in the back.
No, I think that's DJ that does that.
I don't think so. We need to check this out, guys.
Hold on.
This is hyper important here.
Let's look. He stuns.
Okay.
One of them does that. Someone does that. I think it's not important. We're not using that fighter. But I do think, I will say this. I don't want to say that Vega is like pigeonholed into that lineup. You can use him with other people. Like, I think he would do well with Cammy. I think there's no reason why you can't use him in other like single target nuke situations. But just based on like trying to maximize what his kit does, I think that this, based on a quick read through and with no testing, I think that this would be a great team to just put him in right away, because even if he's not as attainable as the others. So if they're super built, even if he's only like SS, I think you're still going to see a lot of value out of him.
Yeah, and so as a low spender, I was able to take a Master Faction hero pretty well maxed, not to 5-star, but into the SSS, and it took me like 2.5 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
So
it's doable.
It's doable as a low spender, though.
Right.
So it's not for free. If you're gonna build him for free, we're talking a month and a half, I think. And if you're willing to make that investment to get this nuke team going off for you, man. But here's what I'll say: if you're free to play, and you built Adon, and you built Dudley, and you start watching all these YouTube videos, and everybody's dunking on Adon and Dudley, well,
here's your validation.
You just got saved, like hardcore. And so that's another reason why I really like this release, and why Akuma sucks.
Akuma sucks, huh?
Akuma, JB, Akuma sucks. Akuma sucks.
JB sneaking in here. How'd you get in here? I limited our video production chat to 2 people.
Oh, it's a little scary. Did you really?
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. JB's here, everyone. Say hello to JB. JB, say hello.
Oh, hello. I'm sorry.
Hi,
I didn't realize you guys were...
You're good. You are good.
All right. Well, I'll give you guys a second. I'll pop out.
Okay. No worries. All right, guys. So with that being said, I think that both of these 2 fighters are an incredible addition to the game. I'm glad that this update happened. I mentioned that we did the trials earlier, and we do have those videos completed. So definitely check those out. I'll put a card up here at the top for both of them. You'll see the first card for one, you'll see the second for the other, but you can just go to the Grind Force Gaming homepage. You'll find both of them there. It shows you the best team compositions that you can progress through those trials very easily. And that way you don't have to spend a lot of time doing it. You can get the rewards, do your divination pulls.
And Nova, I think we need to make a follow-up video to this when we get these characters unlocked. So
I agree.
look forward to that in the future, guys. Once we can actually get some trials on the ground, I think we'll have a lot more information.
Get some gameplay, and then we can do an
You
updated
bet.
tier list as well. So
You bet.
all right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Please take a moment to subscribe, throw a like on the video, check out some of the other Street Fighter videos that we're doing, and stay tuned for more. DatSkat and I will be doing this frequently, whether or not he wants to.
Oh, I want to. Let's go.
Okay. All right, guys. See you later.
Later.